So the Shays Rebellion happened just about a year ago, and it was a series of violent attacks on places like courthouses, government, and a lot of places, especially in Massachusetts. It started in 1786, which was 2 years ago, and it ended with a big war, and that ended in 1787, which was just about a year ago, a little less actually. And most of the rebels who actually fought were ex-Revolutionary War soldiers. So the Shays Rebellion definitely exposed the weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation by exposing that the Congress could not form a military or draft because the federal government didn't have enough money due to the fact that they don't have the ability to enforce taxes upon citizens. The Shays Rebellion definitely changed people's minds about the Articles of Confederation because federal government was weak and ineffectual in responding to all the crises. Therefore, it was believed that a stronger central government was needed to deal with potential cases such as the Shays Rebellion. Well, there were definitely plenty, but just to name a few. First of all, the national government didn't have the power to tax. The Congress didn't have the power to force states to obey its laws. The Congress couldn't even enforce their laws. Each state had to issue its own paper money, and any state could put tariffs on trade between states and other countries. There was no system of national courts, and the Congress could declare war and raise an army, but it couldn't even force its states to give men or money. Personally, I am a Federalist. I want a strong centralized government to deal with potential crises like the Shays Rebellion. So us Federalists wanted a strong centralized government because we believed that a strong central government could best protect individual citizens' rights and freedoms. We are not afraid of the central government that's created by the Constitution, and it also has three branches: it's executive, legislative, and judicial, and they can all limit each other's powers. On the other hand, the Anti-Federalists wanted a weaker government, and many Anti-Federalists preferred a weak government because it equated a strong government with a British tyranny. Others wanted to encourage democracy and feared a strong government would be dominated by the wealthy. They felt that states were giving up too much power to the federal government, which I don't believe. Just about a year ago, us Federalists and Anti-Federalists were rivals, but in the end we're all one country and had to come up with a compromise. Just recently, less than 10 months ago, we came up with a compromise that included of two compromises. First, the Great Compromise, which is also called the Connecticut Compromise. So, the Great Compromise was in 1787, and it was an agreement that large and small states reached during the Constitutional Convention of 1787 that defined the legislative structure and representation that each state would have under the United States Constitution. They gained a legislative structure so that the Federalists could have something from their side. But there was also the Massachusetts Compromise, and the Anti-Federalists wanted a Bill of Rights to keep everyone in order and safe. This in order and safe. Oh my gosh. The Anti-Federalists wanted a Bill of Rights, and the Anti-Federalists were able to plead. The Anti-Federalists wanted a Bill of Rights. This could be done by the Massachusetts Compromise. They were able to play on these feelings in ratification convention in Massachusetts in 1788. This was just earlier this year, like less than a month ago. By this stage, 5 of the states had ratified the Constitution with relative ease. However, in Massachusetts, the Constitution ran into committed, organized oppositions. Only after 2 leading Anti-Federalists, John Adams and John Hancock, 2 good friends, negotiated a far-reaching compromise did the convention vote for ratification in 1788. Basically, we ended with a Bill of Rights, and so that was for the Anti-Federalists. This compromise was perfect because we each got part of what we wanted in a compromise which created the Constitution. The Constitution is now our replacement for the Articles of Confederation, and definitely works much better than the Articles of Confederation because almost everyone was unhappy with it. No, thank you for having me. I'm so excited to see what the future brings, and I'm so happy that you decided to interview me from the future. Thank you.